Imagine this. You're walking through a thick forest in Patagonia, millions of years ago. Out of nowhere, you hear something moving quietly in the brush. Not a dinosaur. Nope. What steps out is this massive predator, about the size of a Siberian tiger, but on 4 scaly legs. Its teeth? Like steak knives. Its jaws? Strong enough to snap bone like a twig. Creepy, right? This beast wasn't a dino at all. It was a crocodile, a land-walking crocodile called Kostensuchus. Yeah, a croc that lived on land, chasing prey just like the big dinosaurs did. Wild stuff. And that's what we're diving into today. The discovery, the life it lived, and how it basically fought dinosaurs for dominance in South America. Stick around because the story gets stranger the deeper you go. Oh, and hey, if you love this kind of prehistoric mystery, you know the drill. Subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz. So here's the scene. Back in March 2020, a bunch of paleontologists were poking around the windy, rocky plains of Santa Cruz, Argentina. This area is famous for fossils, long-necked dinos, clawed predators, you name it. But on this trip, they stumbled across a heavy block of stone. Inside, the faint shape of a crocodile skull. At first it was like, nah, probably another fragment, nothing crazy. But once they dug in and cleaned it up, jackpot. A skull, spine, shoulders, hips, all still connected. That's like winning the fossil lottery. Normally, crocs from this group, called purosaurids, are just bits and pieces. But here was a whole animal staring back at them from 70 million years ago. Now let's talk about what this thing looked like. Picture an 11-foot-long reptile weighing in at about 550 pounds. Not the biggest croc in history, sure, but still nothing you'd want to bump into on a hike. Its jaws were huge, lined with serrated teeth sharp enough to shred through flesh in seconds. Some experts say its bite and hunting style were kind of like a Komodo dragon, but scarier. It walked low on 4 strong legs, silent and deadly, just waiting for something unlucky to wander too close. And when it struck, game over. What makes Kostensuchus really interesting is how it lived. Crocs in North America and Asia mostly chilled in the water, semi-aquatic, like today's crocs. But not this guy. South America's land crocs evolved differently. Their legs weren't sprawled out to the sides like modern crocs. They were more underneath, like a mammal or a dino. That means they could move on land way more efficiently. Imagine a croc that could not only swim, but also sprint across the ground. Yikes! Scientists looked closely at its hips and found that, okay, it wasn't fully upright. It still sprawled a bit, so maybe it spent time in both water and land. Pretty versatile. You could call it the ultimate all-terrain predator. And honestly, researchers still aren't totally sure what its lifestyle looked like. Did it hunt mostly on land? Did it stalk rivers like a jaguar? To find out, they'll need to study the chemical fingerprints in its bones. Those little isotopes can reveal what kind of food it ate and what kind of climate it lived in. Pretty neat trick. But we don't really need isotopes to know one thing. Kostensuchus was a killer. Its teeth were built to grab and hold struggling prey. Medium-sized dinos? Totally on the menu. Smaller critters? Easy snacks. It even had the jaw strength to crush bones, which meant it could scavenge if needed. Picture it in action. The forest goes silent. The croc crouches low, muscles coiled like a spring. One quick lunge, and bam! Dinner served. The whole ecosystem was like a deadly chess game, and this croc was a master player. And here's where it gets even cooler. South America was crawling with predators back then. Megaraptors, dromaeosaurs, you name it. But Kostensuchus wasn't scared. It was big enough and tough enough to compete with them for food. Even after many dinosaurs started to fade out near the end of the Cretaceous, crocs like this one kept their place at the top. And they didn't just stop there. Fast forward to about 20 million years ago, and you still had giant land crocs competing with those terrifying terror birds. Imagine that showdown, a giant bird with a hooked beak versus a land croc with bone-crushing jaws. Who wins? Honestly, hard to say. For scientists, Kostensuchus is like filling in a missing page of history. It's the latest and southmost member of its family, plugging an evolutionary gap. And it proves something fascinating. Crocs weren't just river lurkers. They could rise up, adapt, and rule the land just like lions or tigers today. One paleontologist even called Kostensuchus the Lion of South America. And honestly, that description fits perfectly. So what does this all tell us? That even in a world dominated by dinosaurs, other predators could climb the ladder and challenge them. Crocs weren't just side characters in the dinosaur age, they were serious contenders. And that makes the past way more complex and exciting than we usually picture it. Alright, I'll throw this one to you guys. If Kostensuchus were alive today, how do you think it'd stack up against modern predators? Could it take down a lion or maybe wrestle with a great white shark if it ended up in the water? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And hey, if you enjoyed hanging out in the ancient forests of Patagonia with this prehistoric monster, give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's keep exploring the crazy, untamed past together.